and welcome to another episode of your favorite show, Naima's Wonder World. Today we're going to be going in the city, in the country, and in a garden. Naima's Wonder World. Have you ever heard of Hogans Alley? It was a thriving Black community in Vancouver in the early 1900s. What is now known as Strathcona, there used to be Black businesses, gathering places, and homes. But it was destroyed in 1960 to make room for a road? That's right, the Georgia Viaduct plan destroyed Hogans Alley. I want to meet up with Shayla Bird, who's an activist and scholar that knows a lot about Hogans Alley. She even does Hogans Alley walking tours. I met her at People's Park in Strathcona, the former site of Hogans Alley. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what projects you've been working on?
Yeah, so my name is Shayla Bird. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, and grew up in Abbotsford, and recently moved to Vancouver about 1.5 years ago. And I intentionally moved into this neighborhood that we are in now in Strathcona, primarily because of the history that existed and exists in in Strathcona. Primarily Hogans Alley is what really got me excited to move here and just be closer to history and my shared history. And so one of the most exciting projects that I've been a part of was creating curriculum for a documentary series called Black in Origin series. And I created the curriculum for the BC and Hogans Alley episode. And really what this documentary highlighted was Black history across Canada. And that was really informative for me to just understand a little bit more about where Black people in Canada came. And through there, I've just been able to be a part of a lot of different opportunities. And then in the summertime, was able to work with community here in People's Park to help fight against the building of a temporary fire hall station. And so, together with community, 30 of us came together and really resisted this urban renewal planning. And so those have been two really exciting projects that I've been working on recently.
What keeps you motivated and inspired in your work?
So the motivation comes from the youth when they reflect on being able to engage in the curriculum that I've created or come down and do a walking tour, just to be able to see them have a deeper understanding of where Black people were in BC and just like their responses to seeing themselves reflected in curriculum and in community is a huge inspiration. But then also just like feedback from community as well too. So some of the walking tours that I lead are just for free, like no one has to pay to come to them, but the amount of people who come out and show curiosity really inspires me. So it's the people who are curious, who are open to learning, and who have a growth mindset really help keep me motivated and keep me going. And then the last thing I would say is just also like my younger self as well too, just to remind myself of how far I've come, how important this history would have been for me to learn, and to just know that I want to try to reach as many young people as possible who will benefit from learning about the history of British Columbia, Canada as its entirety, not sometimes what we're just told.
What drew you to doing the Hogans Alley tours? And do you have a favorite stop?
Yeah, so I initially started the Hogans Alley walk-in tours because I felt like after developing the curriculum for the documentary series, I was presented with a lot of information. I was able to view a lot of cool documentaries, go to the archives, interview people, and I thought that the walking tours were a good way to give back to the community and help them have a shared understanding about the neighborhoods that they live in. One of my favorite stops is the Fountain Chapel Church. It is not an active church. It is changed into housing, but it's still such a monumental place for the Black community. And the fact that the building structure is still standing there today, I think really just pays tribute to the Black community that was here and all the different people that walked in that church and got to experience it. So yeah, the church is a highlight for sure.
Community seems really important to you. How do you build community?
Yeah, that's a really great question, and honestly, it has taken me some time to build community. I think building community, you have to actually physically be in the community. So for me, making sure that I'm frequenting local shops around the neighborhood and interacting with people on a daily basis really helps bring that community. And when it comes to doing like community activism, just identifying through conversations like people who share similar interests with you, and then just keeping up to date with them. So whether that's like posting on social medias or calling for like community barbecue hangouts, really just making sure that you're like just staying in community and constantly showing face to people, or else they're not going to know who you are and they're not going to know what you stand for.
How can kids like me help build community?
I would say just by sharing interests and like what is important to you. So for example, like in this park that we're here now, you have an opportunity to maybe share feedback with me about what may make this park a more enjoyable place for you to come to. So I know you were talking about, this doesn't have a playground here. So it's important for you to consider, would it be important to have a playground here? Do you think that would draw more kids to come to the area? And then also just by sharing what excites you. Like if you want to, see a resource in the classroom, you have to make sure that you're just like communicating with people and your teachers that this is something that's important for you. So I would say by being like unapologetically proud to share what your needs are in community, and also, have your parents who have connections to other people to be able to help those dreams of what you think of a community, actually become a reality. So just make sure that you're always like sharing what's important.
Can you show us where the Fountain Chapel Church is?
Absolutely, let's go.
Can you believe that cool piece of history? I wonder if I'd be hanging out with my friends at Hogans Alley in the 1900s.
Naima's Wonder World.
Now we're headed from Hogans Alley to Fraser Valley. So then we can go to Aldor Acres, a family-owned farm. They have so many baby animals there. We arrived at the farm first thing in the morning, and I was ready for a big day. This kitten was only 3 days old. I made friends with some bigger animals right away. I got to cuddle a buddy who was just born and saw some more tiny buddies still in their nest. My friend Maddie came to meet me. She's a lot of fun. We cuddled goats galore. Goats are funny. Don't eat the pants. Maddie's little sister Juliana came along too. Hey, don't steal all my feed. We were in kitty and bunny heaven. This guy wanted some attention too. Hi, little piggies. I think I've grown since I was here last year. The chicks were pretty fast, but we were able to safely catch and hold some. This little calf looks tired. Time for a nap. Hey, Ride! We got to ride all over the property and take in some really pretty views. Now, some lunch and cartwheel routines. Woohoo! Jumping in the hay is a lot of fun. Who's this big guy? We ended our day with some games and by cooling off in the water. And then it was time to go home. Best day ever. I hope you liked seeing all of the baby animals with me. Which one was your favorite? I think I know what was my favorite. I liked the cats, the goats, the bunnies, the pigs, jumping on the hay, which doesn't count as an animal, the chicks. Okay, fine, I admit it, I love them all. I am coming, my goatees.
Naima's Wonder World.
Now my friend is going to tell you about a really pretty book about a really special garden.
Hi, my name is Piper and I'm in grade 2. This book is Kai's Garden. It's written by Melody Florence. It's illustrated by Carleen Harvey. And this book is about how she moved into a new street in a new block in a new town in a new neighborhood. She misses her grandma. Then she remembers to get the beads, the bead box, the treasure box, and then she opens it. The voice tells her to, and she opens it, and then what happens is she sees an apple, and she places all these different beads in the spots where they were in her grandma's garden. And then her mother comes up and then says and then they make a rainbow together. They beat a rainbow arch. The end. The pictures are very cool. They here's the first. They're like, they have so many beautiful pictures. I'll show you one of them that's my favorite. That one is one of this. This one, the roses are my favorite. This one. And then this is my favorite page. All the rainbow is all the colors of the rainbow going into this box. She's imagining. And she wants to make the rainbow out of all the colors of the rainbow. Red, yellow, green, there's no blue, and purple, and orange. Oh yeah, my favorite part was when when her mother says, it's funny and it's a good part when her mother says, Kaya, you're gonna be late for breakfast. So then Kaya gets up and then her mother says, Kaya, come on. And then she gets dressed and then her mother says, now Kaya. That's the funny part about the book and my favorite part because it's funny. Kids might enjoy this book because it teaches you a lesson. If they miss someone, they can always remember they could make something like Kaya did. She misses the garden in her grandma's house, so she can make her own garden. She's still in the garden with her mom and her brother who made a face to her. She made her garden of her own. That's what made her not feel sad because she's always part of her grandma. The garden is always part of her grandma and her because she can make her own garden out of beads. Maybe just plant them, the beads, into the soil. Oh, the part that I really remember is the rainbow because I like rainbows. But the exciting part was the rainbow. I want to see how Kaya made a rainbow. I wish there was a part 2 of this book. But don't take my word for it or the rainbows. Just read it for yourself.
Thanks for spending the day with me. I hope you enjoyed learning about history, cuddling baby animals, and bedtime stories. Book reviews.